Carvajal Cabal is a consultant at Colombia Risk Analysis, and he joins us live from Cali in Colombia. Thanks so much for being with us, Mario. So firstly, on those comments from Trump in the past hours that the US will provide oil companies operating in Venezuela, choosing to go back in, that is, with security guarantees, what do you think that might look like?
Oh, thank you, and happy to be here. And I think that might look like first certain security regarding the investment, lifting the sanctions and making that financial infrastructure much safer and much more thorough, so they can do the investment without facing any sanctions. And then second, I think that security guarantees. It is critical for the right now transitional government to have the support of the military, which has been a critical actor in all, not only in the regime, but will also be a critical actor in this democratic transition. So having the support of the military to coordinate any actions, to make sure that any other legal actors or any other groups that are trying to revert the situation might not then attack the infrastructure and the investment that these oil companies are making.
And how soon then might we see oil companies coming back in to invest in Venezuela, do you think?
Oh, I think it'll start slow. There's vast amounts of uncertainty at the moment, and they'll be slow and steadily coming back. There's some companies, for example, if I'm not mistaken, Chevron, who already have a presence there, so they'll have the upper hand in that reconstruction. Undoubtedly, other companies will be also pursued by the Trump administration to come in, and there'll be likewise a number of incentives for them to go. So I think it'll start slow regarding the initial investment, and then it'll grow, mainly because there's a lot of uncertainty, not only at this moment, but then how will the democratic transition go? Will there be elections? What will be the characteristic of these elections? Will it be in 6 months, in a year? Who will be the candidates? Who can participate? So as these questions start being resolved, and if the security guarantees seem to work, and the military is working, and the companies start feeling safer operating in the country, then that will exponentially increase the level of investment. So it is likely to start slow, and if all those steps are taken and those questions are answered, then undoubtedly the potential of not only oil in Venezuela, but also other minerals such as gold is quite high.
Also, Donald Trump has said that he's meeting, among others, with Maria Corina Machado next week, and also said that she may be involved with some aspect of running Venezuela. He initially snubbed her and said that he wouldn't be interested in working with her. Now a bit of a turnaround there. Do you think this might mean potentially the US is looking at supporting a democratic overhaul in Venezuela, having not really mentioned democracy much so far?
Well, I think that it did not mention democracy first because each phase has its timing. At this beginning of the democratic transition, it is important to have certain continuity regarding how it is able to govern and maintain the army in its favor, and make sure that those are cooperating with the democratic transition. So it's a multi-step process that could lead potentially for Maria Corina Machado in the right moment, either being an important figure in this democratic transition, or a figure that once elections in the future are secure will likely not only participate but become the winner. And Edmundo could be a caretaker, for the time being until elections are held. It depends really on what step of the transition they are at the moment. But the important thing right now is to have some sort of governing within the country, and that Delcy Rodriguez at the moment can offer that, along with the military. And as negotiations advance and steps continue, then Maria Corina can assume a pivotal role, which she undoubtedly deserves.
Carvajal Cabal, consultant at Colombia Risk Analysis, thanks so much for your analysis with us.